Hello and welcome everyone to our once a week daily readings. My name is Michelle Marie. I am the owner and operator of Astrological Tarot. I am both a Vedic and Western astrologer as well as a tarot reader. And my website is astrologicaltarot.com. And welcome. Thank you for coming.
And I'm Tanys Coughlan with the Twillow Lifestyle Community, and I'm a Reiki master. I am a crystal master and a Celtic Shamanic high priestess, as well as a channel. So we're happy to be here, and welcome.
Hi, everyone. Tanys, you forgot Ninja Master.
Jedi Master. That's it, Jedi.
Yes,
she has the sword.
That's right.
I do have a sword.
Hi, everyone. I'm Renata Zimmer of Readings by Renata. And if you have any questions, right there's my email, readings@renata.net, if you want to reach me. I am a medical intuitive. I'm a psychic medium. I'm a healer. I'm a counselor as well as a coach. And so you're getting a very nice mix of all our different skill sets here. We are very happy to have you, and we look forward to doing your readings.
Okay, great. Well, we already have a bunch of questions. So do you guys want to go ahead and get started?
Yes.
Absolutely.
All right. So our first question is from Kay. Hey, Kay. She's our regular. My question is about my daughter. She talks about seeing angels and always wants to know how to communicate with spirit. She's 8 years old and knows things she's not around and be aware of. Thank you. She communicates with animals, big or small, and wants to help the earth. She has conversations with everyone, including an ant that she met along her path. Okay, this sounds like a mini Tanys, so I'm going to have Tanys start this. Well, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I liked ants, but everything else, yes. Yeah, I like ants. Okay. Yeah, it sounds to me like she's very much a sensitive and intuitive. She's definitely an empath, and with that comes clairsentience. So, and I feel like that's very strong for her. So I would just make sure that you're not sort of stifling that gift for her in terms of, one of the things is some of us grew up with parents that were not really open to this stuff. And so it wasn't not their fault. They just didn't know, right, what was happening in that way. It wasn't their path to know. And so, but I mean, Kay, you know the deal. So just make sure you're cultivating that awareness in a healthy way. Okay, so just allowing her to tell you what it is that's coming through for her, and that kind of thing. If she's afraid, then you start. It's good to start with teaching her how to manage her energy at a young age, because that's going to really be invaluable as she grows older. As she gets into those teen years, it can be really kind of daunting, and hormones with all those teenagers in one room, she's going to feel an awful lot of stuff. And so that's where doing things like tubing and making sure that she knows how to protect her energy is really going to help her going into those teen years. Okay, so I picked some cards, and one of them is follow your bliss. So you see in that picture, there's like magical beings, right? We've got a unicorn there. We have music. So I'm not sure if music is important to her, but it's sticking out for me. We've also got the moon and the sun in this one. So you've got a real balance of going from dark to light in terms of your balanced energy, because the moon is very much about the female energy and the sun is the male energy. And so they balance each other out in this picture. And that's interesting. Interesting for me, because I hadn't actually noticed that in this card before. So obviously that's the message for you when it comes through like that, or for your daughter, I should say, that she's quite balanced. So keep doing what you're doing, because it's working. Okay, so she does have a very strong angelic connection. And so she is going to be picking up on messages and stuff. So really it's about fostering that within her. I do have the card, I've got the builder card. So I think that she's here to really build. I feel like it's an energetic building as opposed to physical building. So I feel like she's building energetically towards something. And I do feel like she's going to make a great energy healer. and possibly an artist, whether it's musical or visual, because we've had both in this reading. So I really think she's got a lot of creative stuff, which is very much, I'm hearing like intuitive painting, intuitive music, those kinds of things, because she's going to be able to blend those in a way that's really going to heal a lot of people. Okay, so that's what I have for your daughter. Look.
Wow, that was quite a bit, Tanys. Thank you. Beautiful. Well, as Tanys says, you can't make this stuff up, because I got the empath for your daughter. Okay. And notice that the empath, if you look a little close, she's crying. And she's weeping because she feels so much for all who live. And she intuitively knows how to make them feel cared for and comforted in the face of difficulties and mortality. Oh my goodness. Rosie and Fox agree. Those are my little ones. So the second card I got, so your daughter is an empath, and that needs to be nurtured. And then this can also create like an overwhelming vulnerability when it comes to her sense of self. So like Tanys says, your role as her parent, as her protector, is vital in her growth as an empath and as a healer. Because the second card I got was the shadow. Okay. She's learning to make a friend and an ally of her shadow side, and she's becoming more authentic, so that when she moves out in the world, she can be a true success at what she does. Okay. So there are a few things that she's working through in this incarnation. If she wasn't, she wouldn't be here, because that's what we're all here to do. And she, in dealing with the shadowy sides of her personality, especially as she gets into her teenager years, because those are the times where a lot of these things can manifest, because we're growing, and not just physically and hormonally, but also spiritually during that time. She will be able to overcome a few of those things and help other people. Like Tanys said, she's a healer. Those are the two that I got, the empath and the shadow. I think that pretty much, along with what Tanys says, describes the
energy protection is going to be really important. Because the shadow thing for me, when you brought that up, I mean, that's the part of the darker part of being an empath, is that many empaths tend to not do the shadow work, and they end up with, more things like addictions and stuff like that. Not to say that's going to happen to your daughter, because she sounds lovely, and the energy I get from her is not that at all. But when people have trauma that happens, sometimes that will be the case, or they'll get in with the wrong crowd, and the addictions are kind of a way of numbing that stuff out. So that would be something that I would just sort of flag for yourself. I don't think that's going to be the case with your daughter. That's not what I get at all. But if she's probably got some empath friends, so that's just something to kind of be aware of as you're starting to parent a teenage girl. Okay.
Thank you, Tanys. That was lovely. Okay, just real quick, you guys, we're going to have to leave a little bit early today, because we are going to be in another show, Grateful Goddesses. After this, you can join us there if you like. And then also, we ask you to tip, because it costs us money to do this show. It's not for free for us. So this helps us cover those basic costs. Okay, so you've got, it's right there. You've got the link right there. If you would like to tip, we bring you to the front of the line, because we get quite a few questions, and they do tend to pile up. Okay. All right. Now, okay. Again, can't make this stuff up. I got this seer card, and I always get this when someone who's very intuitive comes up. All right, so this tells me also to triple confirm that yes, your daughter has intuitive gifts. It's interesting in this image when I look at it, it's sort of like, she's kind of in a trance, but it's almost like she's disconnected from what's right in front of her, and she's connected to everything else. So that might be part of what Tanys was talking about, when it becomes challenging sometimes as an empathic person, as an intuitive, to live in this world, because it's almost like you're not really necessarily always connected to what's right in front of you, but much more so to things that might be coming up in the future or from the past. And, it can get a little bit disorienting. And yes, absolutely. When you are a teenager, it can be extremely challenging on top of everything else. So I really like that point you made, Tanys. I know so many intuitives, and myself included. I mean, most of us don't really have guidance. We don't really have mentors in our lives for whatever reason. That's just kind of how it goes. We discover our own gifts. We may not fully acknowledge them for a long time. And then we end up kind of getting into this pattern of not doing that shadow work and not doing the inner work. And it becomes overwhelming. I mean, I know for me, I started as a healer, and it took me years before I figured out how not to absorb everybody else's pain. So it's really important to have some guidance in that early on if you can. So that was really great advice, Tans. I also have this card, this Ancients card, and I think that your daughter is connected. She has some really deep love for the earth and for nature, the planet, and other planets too. It's not just this planet, but like animals. And so she's connected to that. And that's part of her gift there. Connecting to all of these natural elements. And I also got, interestingly, from my Lemurian deck, Starseed Elemental.
Yeah.
So, just telling you that she's a starseed. She's special. She's a special soul. And, all of these gifts that are developing are definitely, part of her journey and where she's meant to go. I also got this Sacred Journey. And she's kind of traveling down this pathway, and there's light, and it's kind of like a giant crystal, kind of a castle at the end there. And
that's at the Ascended Masters dimension, the City of Light.
Mm-hmm. That's what it feels like to me too. So she's connected to this, and that's kind of where her journey is going to lead her, or where it is leading her. And part of her function here, I got this Dawn Watcher card. Caretaker, guardian. She's here to help others. She's here to help other light beings as well. So she's a special soul. So, I mean, it's amazing. You're very blessed, and, but with those gifts comes a responsibility. So we're just kind of letting you know some of what might be in store. But I think because you're also intuitive. So yeah, I think that's it for me. Hope that was
She's
helpful.
also an animal communicator.
I got that too, especially with the empath. She's talking to the bird and comforting the bird, and then you pulled some cards, and then Renata pulled the cards with the animals around. So yeah.
So I feel like it's simultaneous. I feel there's some significance between the animals, and it's almost a simultaneous connection to all of these higher energies at once. It's not just the animals, it's also the planet, and it's also the ancients simultaneously, if that makes sense. I don't know why that's coming up as important, but it seems like it's some sort of she's almost at a crossroads of all of these at the intersection. And I think that's part of her function here.
Well, she's a bridge, I think, for those.
Okay, that makes sense. You did say that.
It's like a bridge. The raven too. You should look up the raven in terms of your animal spirit guide, because there's something about that. So I don't know whether she sees ravens a lot, or whether that's something that's going to be coming up for her. So just check into that raven. It's sticking out for me.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Kay. We really appreciate your energy and the wonderful questions that you bring us each week. Okay, so our next question is from Rachel. Ladies, I want to ask a general future question, anything that comes up. I'm worried about tomorrow, but anything would be great. Okay, so the first card I pulled for you, Rachel, was Pisces from the Karma cards. Okay, Pisces is all about going with the flow. I know that Tanys pulls the flow card for you a lot. It's just going with that flow, letting things just kind of flow through you rather than trying to control everything. Okay. It's also warning you against the idealization of certain things. And Pisces also rules the 12th house of things that are hidden. So it could be everything from addictions to spiritual and mental states of being. It involves the more the psychology of the mind. Okay, so I asked for a little bit more information, and I got be true to yourself, be truthful with yourself, and I got the truth from the Wild Goddess Oracle. And you can see this beautiful Valkyrie heading into battle here. But when this card comes up, it's an indication that it's even more important than usual that you tell the truth and be willing to hear the truth too. This is a very brave warrioress, and she's not shrinking away from others. So even if other people's truth may seem a little bit different than yours, don't be afraid to express it.
I love that card. It's beautiful.
I know. Isn't it gorgeous? I love it too. Amy's so talented. So the truth, it can't be denied. It can't be contained. It can't be hidden away. And notice that she's pushing back the darkness in this card, and she's the lies and the ignorance and everything that it really is. She's not afraid to ask questions. And she also is very aware that even though her opinions might not be accepted, she bursts through those anyway. So then I said, what's something a little more positive I can tell Rachel? Trying to get my focus back, sorry. And I got the Dancer. Okay. Feel free to express yourself if you want to live a truly authentic life of quality and meaning. Your soul's dance is unending. And just to back this up from my self-care oracle, I got movement. Okay. So just letting yourself be free, going with the flow, getting into movement, moving your body in a positive, happy, beautiful way. Because look at the energy of this card. Look at her aura. It's shining. Okay. So I feel like you just need to have a little bit of fun and dance and let some stuff out. Okay. Go with the flow. Let the spirit flow through you. And then the last card I got for you, because this popped out with it, was make an altar. So if your focus has been on something that's not healthy in your life, something negative, make an altar, and you can put anything on your altar. It could be everything from deities to flowers that you find outside to, I offered the divine a little bit of water with a prayer every day. And when the water runs out, I do more. And I'm like, oh, you drank it all. You were thirsty. Because the divine, I see the divine in all things. So, it could be anything from just a glass of water to a flower to your favorite version of the divine, or I have many versions up on mine, to just something that makes you happy. It could be a picture of Ollie. It could be a photo of you at a time where you were happy and full of joy. If you're dealing with some childhood stuff, putting a photo of your from your childhood up there with things that make you happy, anything that kind of strikes your soul. Making a little altar for yourself and putting the focus on that instead of the negativity that could creep into your life on a daily basis. Okay. Most people, the altar in their home is their television, because I tell people your altar is what you sit and you look at for most of the day. So transferring it from, the TV, the news, whatever your focus is on, sometimes it's the kitchen, putting it on, putting a visual representation in your home of things that make you happy and just sitting and being with it. Okay, I think that'll really help you moving forward. Thank you, Rachel. Sending love.
Hi, Rachel. It's good to see you again on here. And so the altar thing too, for me, just as my own personal thing, I like to have a representation from all four elements involved. Because when you do have that, it just helps you to really connect with that source energy, the God energy, the agape, whatever it is that you connect with. It's that oneness. So that can really help you like connect to that in a more physical way. So just a thought. So for the cards that I got you, I got this one here, Melinda. So you are confused and indecisive because you don't have enough information. So it's encouraging you to do research, ask an expert before you make your decision. Okay. And the next card just supported that. So now it's time to learn, study, gather information. Enjoy being a student, because in the future you'll synthesize your knowledge into action. Okay, so I feel like actually that it's not just even in the physical life that you're a student, but we often will be in spirit school like overnight, and we'll have teachings that come down during our sleep time hours. And I feel like you're getting some spiritual teachings that way right now. So, if you have a lot of dreams and stuff, when you get up, if you remember even a little bit of it, write it down for yourself. Okay. So just keep a dream journal, because I feel like they're teaching you a fair bit overnight right now. And you are going to be coming into your power. Okay. Look at that beautiful glow. I step into my power boldly and confidently. So once you go through this time where you're learning, it's really going to help you to amp up that vibration of yours and keep you in that. Look how happy she is, looking and connecting. And that really goes with the altar card as well, right? She's connecting with spirit, which is what we do when we're sitting at an altar. We're really kind of connecting with that spirit and the energy around that. And then you're going to be embracing your future. You see, there's a doorway here. I really feel that's like a new opportunity for you. So I step into the future with an open heart. So she's really following her path. You know, she's walking through that doorway. So there's opportunities that will be coming to you, even if it doesn't feel that way now. Because right now what you're doing is doing the research. So you're looking through the options and you're listening to the training that's coming down in your dream time, and some in your wakeful hours too, because I do feel that you're getting a lot of them talking to you a lot. So when they do that, they're usually trying to get a message through. Okay. So I think part of that was you had something about communication, right? Michelle, what was your card about communication? Do you remember?
I got communicate your truth.
Right. So
Yes.
I think that's what it was. So they're trying to communicate with you, but you're sort of like trying to block it out. So you need to be truthful with yourself about accepting the what they're telling you, the messages. Okay. And then have faith and hope, because there is something positive and new on the horizon that you can't see. So I wanted some confirmation about what that sort of the embracing the future was, and that's what I got. Okay. And it's a crystal card. So I would say that I would be looking for you to possibly use some rhodonite to do some of that healing during this study period. Okay. So hope that's helpful.
Thank you, Ms. Tanys. That was amazing, as per usual.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I feel like, yeah, once again, sort of pulled. I feel like all of our cameras are having issues with focusing today. I don't know what it is.
We're still in Mercury retrograde, aren't we?
Yes, Mercury retrograde, and it goes direct tomorrow. So now we're getting the worst of it.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like because my laptop's like overheating over here. But anyway, hopefully it'll last for the show.
It's also quite a powerful, energetic day, right? It's the second of the second month of 2022.
Yes.
So it's like huge twos today.
Yes,
so
and I took a picture. Go ahead. Sorry, Tan.
It's a bit of a portal of energy.
Yeah.
It's a great time for you to set intentions going forward.
I agree. I actually took a picture at work when it was 2:22. 22:22.
That's awesome.
But I literally looked at the clock right then, so I was like, okay, I have to take a picture of this. And I took it like the second before it switched over to 2:23.
Awesome.
All right, Rachel. Hi, by the way, thank you for joining us. Always happy to have you. This is the first card that I got, and just like Tanys was talking about, it's almost like you're between two different places, two different worlds. And I think this actually goes further than you kind of entering a new time in your life, or like kind of starting off on a new pathway. I think this actually has to do with like, I know that you have mermaid energy, but you also, this one came up for you more than once. I think you are actually connected to the fairy realm. And I don't know why, but I've been like picking up on that with people lately. I just know, like, when someone has like a strong connection to it, I'm just like, okay, they're connected to that. And it's a little weird to talk about this, maybe a little too woo for some people, but these things are real. And like Tanys was just talking about 5D and dragons and stuff, and so fairies are real too. And I know someone who is like, he's this incredible human, and it's like he'll stand there and birds will literally land on his hand and just like dance around him. And I'm like, oh, he's got a strong fairy connection. And these animals were like his friends when he was in that form and on that plane. And so like for you too, you have that strong animal connection, and that's partially why. So you are literally kind of in between more than like two worlds, basically, because you're here in your human form, but you also have a very strong connection to like this fairy realm. And that might be part of the reason why it can feel like a struggle here, because it just feels really unnatural for you. So, I got this. This is interesting. I feel like this is kind of important in terms of the imagery here. Because it's like there's you in the light, but it's almost like you make the shadow part of you. it's not like it's not important to work on. It is, but it's almost like you're in your head. You can be in your head so much that you blow it up and you make it bigger than it is. So this image is indicative of that, of how sometimes you make it, because you sort of will overthink things slightly, to put it mildly. It may seem like it's a bigger issue than it actually is, if that makes sense. Like you'll focus on it so much that it almost becomes like a whole big, huge thing when maybe it wasn't necessarily to begin with. Okay. So this to me is speaking to, this kind of goes back to what Michelle was talking about as well. Like this popped up for you, this nature's beauty, because this is part of that fairy realm that's also like they're very, very strong in protecting nature, and that's very, very big for you as well. So like Michelle was saying, it's really important for you to keep consciously moving yourself away from that hamster wheel in your head and being stuck there, and connecting more to nature and animals, because that's your natural form, that's your natural state of being. So the more you do that, the more you will feel connected to your light self, and the more that shadow self of you, shadow version of you is going to be balanced out.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm not even a proponent. Like, I'm not saying that shadow self needs to be extinguished, because it's important for us. There's the light and then there's the dark, and then it has to be balanced. It's not about you just killing off that dark part. That's an important part of us, and it needs to be acknowledged, and sometimes it even needs to be nurtured depending on the situation. I also got, and this is also similar to what the ladies were talking about, this card. I think the significance here, it says reclaiming your authenticity. This is talking about speaking your truth, like Michelle was saying. It's important for you to be honest both with yourself and with others. Keep working on that. I believe that's come up for you before, if I recall correctly. And finally, look at what popped up for you. It's this telepathy card.
Very cool.
Yeah. And weren't you telling us that you've been hearing a lot of voices bleeding through it? By the way, some of the voices that you're hearing, that's from the fairy realm as well. Okay. So you're actually hearing the chatter of all of your little friends there, as well as other light beings. So that's some of what's coming through, and they're around for sure. They are around. You have this very distinct spirit to me that's like super fairy-like, if that makes sense. But telepathy. The telepathy card says nonverbal communication, energetic pulses, quote unquote mind reading, and we know what telepathy is. But I kind of like how the shape here is making a heart too. And this is just acknowledging that your gifts are coming through. They are real. They are true. They are significant. They're a vital part of who you are. You're moving in the right direction. Just keep going. Be open. Be flexible. Just let it come in. I mean, and keep going down this pathway. You're moving in the right direction. I feel like the more you're connected to this part of you, the more you're connected to this very natural part of you, the more your pathway is going to become apparent, and you're not going to have as many questions as to, oh my God, what do I do? And also, you're not going to feel the need to figure everything out way in advance, because that's just your brain trying to find safety in that. All right. You don't need to know all the answers in advance. You don't need to know what's going to happen to you 5-10 years down the line. You just need to know, like, the way spirit works, the way the universe works, is that we're just kind of shown our next step, like whatever our next 1 or 2 steps need to be. And that's it. We're not meant to see the entire pathway right away. It's too much for our human minds. So keep going, can do what you're doing.
Great. Thank you, Renata.
I just want to let Rachel know that you do have the power to put up boundaries with those as well. Just because we have free will, and so that's like the prime directive here. So if that is becoming overwhelming for you, you can form a committee with 1 or 2 guides and tell the rest of them to go through the committee, or you can tell them that I'm only listening to you during this time and this time. Okay,
Right.
so that's going to help you to make sure that you can stay 3D still, because we have to be here. That's what we're here for, right? Is to be 3D. So just know that you have the power to do that because you do have free will. Okay.
Oh, that's so
Yes.
funny. I just saw Rachel saying that she had a dream about that card. I'm trying to.
Oh,
The Celtic in her skin. She said the seals. So it's this
Oh.
card.
excellent.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, very cool. Well, there you go. That was a sign from spirit just for you, Rachel. That's amazing.
Yeah, Tanys, you kind of read my mind because I was like, I should probably say that you can do it on your own terms as well, because it's important. Sometimes we do get overwhelmed, and just because you're trying to be more connected to the gift doesn't mean you need to take everything in that's coming your way
Yes.
as it's coming.
Boundaries.
So.
Yeah, because that can be overwhelming.
Yep.
So that's for Kay and her daughter too, right? Make sure that you know that she has control over it as it comes in.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and go to a healer. Tanys is an excellent one. I recommend her, especially for your daughter's gifts and for your gifts as well, Rachel. So she's available at twillowlifestyle.ca. Okay, you're welcome. We love you.
Love you.
All right. So this is from Orion am I getting this right? Arian. Okay, I apologize. I'll just call you Arian. Okay. Arian Shah. Very cool name. My name is Wally. Oh, okay. So it doesn't matter. My name is Wally. I want to know if me and Nor will be able to get together. Well, that was fun. Gotta love that Mercury retrograde. Okay. So I did pull some cards from my relationship deck for you. Okay, Wally. And the first one I got was Temperance. Okay. So be mindful of the situation, because if left attended, it could result in a misunderstanding. So if your relationship is kind of uncertain right now, try not to let your emotions run away with you, and maintain your equilibrium by listening to your heart and your head in equal measure. So don't get too emotional and don't get too cerebral. Try to find a good balance for yourself, because the Temperance card is all about balance. You see, she's got 1 foot in the water and 1 foot on land. So it's about being grounded and also listening to the messages that spirit is sending you. So the next card I got is Excellent. Okay, so first do that. Then I got the Star. Yay! I love getting the Star card. So the Star shines on you and your partner. You're going to enjoy a time of happiness as your relationship grows once you get past this Temperance stage. Okay, you're going to be able to care for one another unselfishly, and the energy between you will flow. This is also a good time to enjoy a period of serenity, and this could be a very beautiful gift in your life. So I love it when I get really positive cards in the tarot. And of course, once you get past the Star part of your relationship, I got the best card that you could ever get in the tarot for a relationship question. I got the Lovers. Okay. So you can deepen your bond with your partner. You can experience true bliss. You may feel divided loyalties as a third party intervenes, because I know that when true love is present, other people try to break it. Okay. It gets tested. So you need to be aware of that. I'm also getting then you need to put your relationship first during this stage and not worry about keeping other people happy, because not everybody is going to understand the nature of this relationship. Okay, but it's a beautiful one. And I said, well, what is the main thing that is going to pose a problem, because the Lovers is the best thing that you can get. And I got the Moon. Okay, the Moon can represent confusion. Okay, it reveals a crisis of faith. It's possible that you might be a little different than this person. That there might be I don't know if it's religion. I know that Tanys will be able to tap into this, or a painful issue from the past. But don't avoid discussing painful issues with each other. Don't avoid discussing things that are that are hard to discuss, especially in relationships that are going well. Hope and love will gravitate toward you without effort if you are open with your partner. And you can get through a lot of the trials that come through the Lovers card and really break through a lot of the confusion that comes your way. So I basically got a story, a relationship story. I started off with the Temperance card. So that's where you're starting. I got the Star. and then the Lovers, and the Moon. Okay, so I've got mostly, great cards with just a few warnings. And I know that Tanys and Renata have a lot more to add to that.
Yeah, so to me, it feels like it's family stuff.
Okay, parents. Okay.
Yes. And I got the Healing Family Issues.
Perfect.
As a card. Okay, so that's kind of that religious thing. I think if it's not religion, then it's like it's the family norms around that. That are kind of getting in the way. So I feel like there's family members that are not necessarily on board with this. But that's something you have to heal. Okay, so that was one of the first ones. I kind of got a story for you as well. So doing some healing on the family stuff, your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. So I have a feeling it's parents that are not so keen on it, whether it's yours or yours. There's also an ex that is kind of rearing their head.
That's the third person I got.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's time to clear that out, right? I would recommend a cord cutting for one or both of you to cut the etheric cords. So we have energetic cords that attach us to negative people and stuff in our lives, and we can cut those so that it doesn't become a drain on our energy in our current relationship. Okay, so I would recommend you do that. Because there is some codependency that is coming up. And that's kind of an addictive relationship in a way. So that would be something that I would look at as well. And I think that's all connected, all of that stuff. We tend to go out with people that are like our parents, like your dad or your mom, depending on, what sex you are or what, it's the energy behind it anyways. We tend to pick somebody that's like one of our parents when we go to get together with people. And so if you're in a family where there is codependency there, I feel like the ex that you chose had some of those issues as well. So once you can sort of release that ex and get rid of that and be aware of the codependency, you're going into honeymoon time. Enjoy the bliss of the holiday season together. So holiday time. Okay. And this one, I think you'll end up going away together because there's a retreat. It's time to disconnect from the world. And she's in a wedding dress. So it looks like a wedding for me. So
Lovers.
It looks like it is going to be a happy ending. But there's some of this work to do before. That's all. Okay. That's helpful.
Wonderful. Okay, you guys. So let's see here. So I got this romance card. That was like the first one. I got some really good cards for you, like the ladies were talking about. So this is a very positive card in terms of your question, but I think like what Tanys was talking about, you need to kind of you need to take a little bit of time out for yourself and do a little bit of inner work, because that's what's going to allow you to really come together with this person in the way that, like in the best way, essentially. Okay, so that both of you can actually work for each other the way you're meant to be. I got this back to what you love card, and that actually pertains not to the relationship, but to you reconnecting back to what you are passionate about and to what really drives your soul. And I feel like that will help you to get to that place. I also got a timeout card for you. So this says awareness, contemplation, solitude, time alone. So I feel like it's important for you to take that time out for yourself and just kind of find your own balance without any strings, without any crutches, without any, people around who are like, is that Tanys? Retreat. Yeah. Take time out. Yeah. So it's, and it could be somewhere in nature. And by the way, Tanys, again, can't make this stuff up. This ceremony, I don't know if you can see, but the ceremony card popped up. And so it's like you were talking about the cord cutting. I think Spirit is trying to communicate here that would be a very, very good idea. Mm-hmm. Something that will officially kind of, just make it more tangible for you, and allowing you to move forward and not be weighed down by some of your past experiences. And, I did get this card for you. So like when you do that work, again, like ladies were saying, I got this true love card for you. That's about as good as it gets.
Yeah.
So yes. So basically, if you take some time for yourself, do the inner work, don't just jump straight into it. Make sure that you're coming into it, from a really like just a strong, positive place by working through some of the old like baggage you're still carrying. All right. I hope that was helpful.
Great. Thank you, Renata. We hope that was helpful, Wally. Thank you for joining us. We know this is your first time, I believe, because I haven't seen you on here before. So welcome. Okay, so just a reminder, everyone, we have a lot of questions coming in and we only have a little bit of time left. So if you want your question answered, go ahead and tip. I'll get notified via PayPal and we can go ahead and get to your question before the show ends. Okay. Our next question is from Moyne. Hi, I want to know what Nora's intentions are toward me. And she goes on to, should I reach out to her or let her do it? Okay, so the first card that I got from my relationship deck, my Love Tarot deck, was the Sun, which is a very happy, amazing card. So this is their feelings toward you. Okay, this is very positive because the Sun it's a spell of sunshine. It's deserved success. It's carefree innocence. And the Sun is a very auspicious card for starting new relationships. And, there's social invitations, there's opportunities to keep your spirits high. So you are this person's sunshine. And you can't get much better than that in a person's life. So then I asked, so where is this relationship going? What can I tell? What would be the best advice moving forward? I got death. Okay. I wish it was a better card. So this relationship can draw to a close. So they have very positive feelings about you. However, if you examine the past few months or even years, you may discover that the signs were there all along with this person. This decline is meant to be, and you're ready to grow in love with a partner who is in harmony with who you are now, rather than the person you used to be. Okay. So this person appreciates the person you used to be and the beautiful, bright sunshine that you bring into their life, but it's not meant to be with this particular person, is what I'm getting from Spirit. Okay. And I asked why, and it's because you have a moment of clarity coming. I got the moon reversed. And when the moon is upright, there can be some confusion regarding your situation, but it's reversed. So you will receive a bout of clarity that will help you in moving forward. It's going to be an uncertain time because you're going to privately question your motives, especially after this change comes. But you know that you need to act to find love, and love will gravitate toward you without effort if you are honest with yourself and you take this chance and you focus on clarity. Okay. There's also a little bit of self-delusion going on because a skewed perspective of a relationship allows you to do nothing in the face of moral crisis. So if you allow this to continue, you may be in danger of losing sight of your needs. So I got that this person views you as a sunshine, but it's not meant to be, and you don't want to lose yourself in this relationship. So I said, can you give me a more positive card? Because what is the outcome of all of this going to be? And luckily, I got the World upright. This is the card of universal love. And I feel like you've grown quite a bit as a person throughout your life. So the World is going to offer you expeditions. You are poised to venture further into the world and expand your boundaries through traveling, exploring new and old relationships, and perhaps doing some more spiritual work. But before you go, you may even receive a very special present from Spirit. But whatever your situation is, you will discover universal love. So I'm sorry to say that it's probably not going to work out just long term with this person, but they do feel, beautiful, beautiful feelings about you with this Sun card, but it's just not meant to be, is what I'm getting from Spirit. And I know that Tanys and Renata have more to add to that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think, so I do feel similar to what Michelle said, but I do feel like there's still something to learn in this relationship. So ask your angels for help. Okay. So they're saying now that you've asked your angels for help, be open to receiving divine guidance and assistance because you do deserve heaven's help. So I feel like that you need to ask the angels for help, because you do need to call in your soulmate. Okay. So that's where I'm saying I don't think that it is your soulmate, but I do feel that your soulmate is coming. Okay. And it's coming very soon. So clearly decide what you want. So what I would encourage you to do is with this, when I actually got the give your relationship a chance. So that's why I say, I think there is a piece of this that you still need to learn from this relationship. And that's what that chance is. I don't necessarily think it's going to be successful long-term, but I think there is something that you need to learn from this relationship. And so you need to call in your soulmate. But in the meantime, the angels should be able to help you discern what it is that you need to learn from this relationship. Okay. So I don't feel that it's all bad. I think there is a lot that you can learn right at this time. And going forward, looks like you are going to be bringing in your soulmates very soon. Okay. So this particular one, it's a learning one. I feel it's a bit of a karmic relationship. And so there's some learning to happen there. But it is going to turn out great in the end. You're going to have this other soulmate come in, and it's really going to be lovely. Okay. So yeah, I'm sorry I don't have better news too, but that's kind of what it is. I think it's a karmic relationship, and we've all had them. We've all had karmic relationships, and we have to. We just know that we've contracted for these people to come in for us to learn certain lessons. And once that lesson is over, then you'll know that it's time to move on. But just ask the angels for help on all of that, so that it can all happen with ease and grace. Okay.
Interesting. Okay. I think it's Juan, because it probably is like a French pronunciation.
Maybe.
Yeah, so it's interesting. I agree with Michelle saying that there's a little bit of maybe the way that you're perceiving it is not necessarily the way it actually is. So it's kind of important for you to be very honest with yourself and not try to sugarcoat it. I think that perhaps you are a little bit of a, dreamer, and like maybe you're romanticizing the situation a little bit. And we've all done that as well, and kind of made it out to be maybe not exactly what it is. So I got this balanced forces card for you. And this is speaking to the fact that it's very important, I think, for you to find balance, right? So try to reorient yourself and take a step back and just kind of reevaluate, what the situation is and what it actually is in reality versus maybe how you may be seeing it. And it may be even good to enlist feedback from someone who's close to you, who really cares about you and can be honest with you. And maybe you can ask them, hey, what do you think about the situation? Because I think it's important for you to go into it with kind of a clear outlook. I do think that I got this action speak loudly. So I think it's important, the fact that you're asking, should I reach out to her or should I let her do it? I think that if this were like a really strong love connection and had like long-term potential, then you guys would just be sort of reaching out to each other and you wouldn't be asking about it. So I agree with the ladies. I think that this is more of like a short-term kind of a thing. And I very much, Tanys, this is so funny because you literally like took the words from my mouth, because I got this growth card, and I feel like this relationship is there basically for you to learn and evolve and grow from. So that's really its significance, which doesn't mean that it's not worth going into. It still very much is, and we all need to have those experiences. So we all still say, go ahead and make that connection and see where it goes. You are meant to, it's meant to be a stepping stone to the next kind of place on your pathway. So it's not, it's not perhaps the news you wanted to hear, but it's also kind of encouraging in that you are meant to go through with this relationship, and it's meant to take you to your next sort of place of evolution.
I would say too, what came through when you were pulling the sun card, Michelle.
Yes.
You look at do you let her do it or do you? The sun card is about action, right?
Mhm.
Inspired action. So I would say that.
So like actions speak loudly.
There you go.
Yeah. So I would say there was
Yeah.
2 cards there around that. So
this maybe, you know what it is that as you're, I'm sorry, Michelle, we keep cutting you off. Michelle's like just caught in the middle, poor thing. But this happens often. She's just like, oh, guys. But I think this is about, I think that's part of the lesson here for you, is that this is about you kind of going. I actually pulled another card, but I put it back because I wasn't sure that made sense. But now it does, because it was like the courage card. So this is about you taking action courageously and maybe not getting so caught up in the, oh, but should I, shouldn't I? Like, if you feel it in your heart, like just to move forward and do it and follow through. I feel like that's the part that feels very important for some reason. The follow through and just like moving into it courageously and not questioning yourself as much. That's what I'm getting anyway. But
Okay, so we got a lot of kind of conflicting messages there, but we wish you all of the best moving forward. Now, we do have someone that tips, so I want to get to them before we go to GGTV, okay? So this is Patra Conley, and Patra asks, how is my health? Okay, so I did pull a few cards for you, Patra. Oh, and if you're wondering why Patra is ahead of everyone, it's because Patra tipped, okay? So that's how the show works, and she's ahead of the line. So I wish I pulled better cards. I'll just start with that. Because the first card I got was the Devil. So what this tells me is that you are obsessing about something regarding your health. It's kind of eating away at you a little bit. This is something that is rooted in karma. It might be from this life or a past life, but that's what the Devil, aka Saturn, represents here. So you are going through some kind of a karmic upheaval right now. So I asked for a little bit more information regarding this karmic upheaval regarding your health. And unfortunately, I got the Wheel of Fortune reversed. What comes up must come down. So I wish I got a better card. So when I see this card, there's going to be some kind of an unexpected shift, a period of discontent, but it will bring closure as you move through the nadir of a new cycle. So although your health may be declining in an area, you will soon emerge to happier times because, again, the wheel moves up and it moves down. So right now it's down, but it will go up. So I asked, what is the major cause of this problem? And I got another reverse card. I got the Emperor reversed. So when the Emperor is reversed, it indicates that there is an authority figure or a partner that is attempting to dominate you in some way. In this case, I feel like it's more along the lines of a manifestation or an unwillingness to really engage with your health in a very reasonable way, maybe setting some boundaries with yourself moving forward. It could also indicate that you may, rush to conclusions before really thinking things through. So my advice to you, Patra, is to get this upright again by looking at your situation the way you would a ruler, looking at your body, assessing your health, because the reverse Wheel of Fortune is linked to this kind of karmic energy that you're going through. But the reverse Emperor tells me that you may not be handling it or having a rulership over your health in the way that you could. I am getting that you're a highly sattvic soul and that you live a very simple lifestyle and that you're not connected to a lot of things the way that other people are. But when it comes to your health moving forward, you need to be as 3D as possible. Kind of find ways to get out of other realms of thinking and being, whether that be through art and music and all of the beautiful things that I'm getting that you do, taking a step back from that and focusing on ruling over your health. I know that's a little weird to tell someone, take a step back from your passions, but you need to do that so that you can focus on this reverse Wheel of Fortune moment. And I know Tanys and Renata is a medical intuitive, and she's going to have a lot to say. And I know Tanys is as well. I wish I had better cards, and I am sending you healing vibes. I'm sorry to hear that you're going through some stuff.
Mm-hmm. So I would encourage you, I do feel like the relationship thing, the dominant thing, that's playing a role in the physical aspect of
Stress.
things. It's the stress. Now we
Rosie
do,
agrees.
as humans, we are energetic beings, and we have the natural ability to heal ourselves. Okay. That being said, I don't want you to not see your medical professional. Okay, this is not about that. What this is about is the fact that your own natural innate, your natural state is health. So when there are things that affect that, whether it's emotional stress, whatever that is, it gets in the way of that. But you have the natural ability to heal. Okay, so what I would like to say is tap into that. So I don't know if you're already an energy healer. If not, I would say that your hands get warm sometimes, even if you're not trained, I would say, and that is actually Reiki. And so what I would encourage you to do is use that when your hands get all warm, put them on the area that's being affected right now in your health. Okay, because you do have the natural ability to do that. The other thing is our thoughts need to stay positive. That's not to say that you push them all down, all the negative down. You need to experience the emotion and then release it and reframe it in a more positive way. So it's not that you're ignoring those denser emotions or the sadness that might come with this kind of thing, but you need to reframe it in a way so that you're not stuck in that energy. Okay, so the staying positive is going to be important for you, and listen to your intuitive feelings, because you do know what's happening and you do know what's creating it for you. Listen to that intuition. It's going to help guide you on what you need to release, maybe from your life, maybe from your thought patterns, maybe from your beliefs, that will move forward. Okay? And I do feel exercise is going to be a key component for you. So I'm actually feeling, I'm getting the word physio. So if there's something to do with the physical, I would say that looking at the exercise component with a physiotherapist or a personal trainer, like depending on what your situation is, that's going to help, because I really feel there's some stagnant energy, and I feel as though it's really in the torso area right about here. And I think that you really need to move that. And one of the ways to do that is with Reiki, your warm hands, and the other one is exercise is a great one. So you also need to know you're manifesting your dreams. Okay. When I say that, it means that you're a strong manifester. So those positive thoughts are going to be super important for you. So I want you to focus on the good things and the state that you want to be. Okay. So not, I don't want to be sick. I want to be healthy and vibrant. I am healthy and vibrant. That's how you're going to manifest the health that you are looking for. Okay. So that's my advice to you. You do have this innate ability to heal. And so tap into that ability for yourself. Okay. And sending you lots of love and light.
Can't hear you, Michelle.
Renata, basically, do you want to just take the night? We have another tipper.
Okay.
So do you want to answer Patra's question? Yeah, let's go with Patra's question.
Real quick. I'm not going to go out super long. Okay, Patra. So what I'm getting really, really quickly for you, I'm sorry, we have to go to another show, so that's why I kind of have to run. But I got it, the throat chakra. So, but intuitively, I'm picking up everything from the throat down into your like abdominal area. It's all being affected. And again, like so many people who ask us about health stuff, it's based on your emotional state. Okay, I got this protection card for you. I think it's very important for you to put up boundaries and learn how to protect yourself from this, this sort of strong negative influence. Okay, that I just really wanted to tell you that, because I think it's super important. Everything else is kind of secondary, but I also got this portal keeper card for you. I think that you have some intuitive gifts for sure, and you're almost being preyed upon by this very strong energy that's trying to overpower you. So I just wanted to let you know that it's important for you to learn how to put up some strong boundaries, and to also reassure yourself that you are worth it. You are worthy of that, because I think you're having trouble there. All right, Patra. That's basically the main message that I had to give you. So I just wanted to say at least that much.
Awesome.
That's amazing. Okay, so Amy, I did get your tip. Go ahead and put your question in the chat so we can get to it. And then we're going to have to head over to Grateful Goddesses, and you guys are welcome to join us. And I'll go ahead while Amy's writing her question. I'm going to go ahead and put the banner up. That's where you can join us. We will be continuing our readings on GGTV. So if you go to pulver.com and register, you can follow us there, and we will make sure to get to your question. It's a fabulous show. It's headed by Karen Pulver, and she is an amazing soul. So Amy, go ahead and put your question in the chat. I did get your tip, but there was no question attached to it, and I'm not seeing the question above. Oh, and Patra says, you are truly amazing. You pointed out the exact area of my problem. You are so welcome, Patra. We're glad that you came to the show.
If you have more questions, please come back next week. We can expand on it a little bit more, but I always like to take a little time because Michelle likes to throw it to me right away when we do the medical intake. And I'm like, wait. I actually need a little bit of like a few minutes, some space. So I like the ladies to go first while I'm reading the, just like the medical intuitive part of me like is tuning in. But yeah, there's this whole area. Be careful of silent reflux too, because I feel like the anxieties might be causing that for you. Mm-hmm. There's a whole bunch of stuff. A lot of it is emotional, but let's come back next week. We'll talk about it more then. Okay.
All right.
Amy.
Thank you, Patra. All right, Miss Amy. Been going through a lot of rough patches lately. Just wondering if it's soon going to clear. I'm going to let Tanys head this.
So I have that you're healing some of the past stuff, or if you're not, that's what you need to do. Okay, so there's some forgiveness work. I always bring this up, but the Ho'oponopono is something that I would definitely utilize for you, Amy. So if you don't know what that is, please reach out to one of us and we can let you know. You can reach out to me on Facebook if you like, and I can send it to you, okay? So healing the past. I step into my future with strength and clarity. So when you can do some healing work on some of that past trauma, so I know there's something from your younger years. So this is where this is leading you, okay? But you are launching a brand new journey, which means there is a new energy that will be coming in soon, okay? And I feel like this may be more of a spiritual journey than a physical one at this time, but I do feel like that is going to it's going to usher in a whole new energy for you, and that's really going to be refreshing. But it is going to they are calling on you to cherish self, okay? I accept and love myself, and that's part of that healing spiritual journey, is stepping into that love and acceptance of self. Okay, so when you do some of that healing of the past, it's going to allow you to step into that, and then you're going to start this whole new journey, and it's going to be great. Okay, so that's what I have for you, Amy.
Okay, Amy. So the first card I picked for you was the Poet, and I had an image of you literally writing poetry in a notebook as I pulled this card. So Spirit is asking you to make your life a work of art and your art a work of life, and see the poetry in the mundane, and you will be rewarded beyond measure. So I would recommend writing down a few of your thoughts as you go through this, because the second card I got was Uranus, which indicates a lot of transformation. You have been going through it. When I get the Uranus card, it's like lightning has struck this woman's life. So using poetry, using artistry, using the power of words to express the changes that you're going through, musicians and poets do it all of the time. I highly recommend that you do that, because the third card that I got was the third house of communications. So both in this life and in past lives, you used your communications to create breakthroughs for yourself. And this will take you on that journey that Tanys was talking about toward healing and toward getting through a lot of these lightning-based moments. What I just got from Spirit is she is a work of art. Oh. So, yeah, I just got that. So you need to know that you, Amy, are a work of art, and Spirit really loves you. Like, what you do for a living is very powerful, and you're communicating not just in this realm, but in other realms. So your poetry is beyond just the realm of written word here. It goes into other worlds. So protecting your energy, and also as you experience these lightning moments, using the power of your communications, either in this realm and in other realms, to bring it down. And I know Tanys is connected to every realm imaginable. There are ones that I'm just like, you went where? So, tapping into those realms and also asking them for support and for help. But I feel like your poetry, in the way that you live, your life is a work of art, is really going to help you moving forward. Okay. Much love to you, Amy.
All right, Amy. So just kind of real quick, you definitely have been going through some darkness for sure. There's I think it's a raven, and it's a beautiful card though. That's the interesting thing. It's not necessarily a negative thing. You are on your journey to wholeness, and if you notice, there's a whole lot going on there, a whole lot, and I think it's indicative to just the level of transformation you're undergoing. And of course, obviously, the more you level up, the more challenging it feels. Especially, I often talk about us being in these human bodies and how challenging it can be. Okay. I got this healing temple. So as Tanys was saying, it's very important for you to take that time out for yourself and to really focus on healing yourself, because that is truly that's going to allow you to come back and bring you back. I also got this heart chakra. I feel like it's important for you when you do meditation to take time out. I think you do meditation. It feels like you do meditation. And so. What?
Yes, I think so.
Oh,
yeah. I wrote what she wrote down here for you. So.
Okay, a light worker as well. Yes, I'm sure you do. So just focus in on your heart chakra, because that needs a little bit of strengthening and building up, and you need to reconnect back to that heart chakra, because that will help you realign. I think it'll take some time for you to get back into balance, but you will. It'll just take a little bit of time. You're just going through a very transformative period, and that's what it is. Just ride it out. You're going to be okay.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. And thank you everyone for joining us. And please join us next week if we didn't get to your question. And again, if you'd like to go to the front of the line, please tip. So we hope you all have a wonderful week. Again, I'm Michelle Marie from Astrological Tarot.
Tanys from Twillow Lifestyle Community.
And Renata from Readings by Renata.
Bye, everyone.
And we hope you all have a wonderful week. Thank you so much. Take care. Lots of love.